Hi, I'm Kevin with Arcturus Camo. Today we wanted to figure out if Arcturus survival blankets are still the #1 survival blanket on the market. The way we've decided to do this test is we're trying to replicate a wind gust while you've got your survival blanket tied up to a paracord or something like that. So to replicate that, we're using a small 5-pound weight attached to approximately 8 to 9 inches of length via carabiners and paracord. What we're going to do is release this once it's attached to the corner, the grommet of each survival blanket, let it drop, and see how much weight each can take from that kinetic force. First up on the test is the Lin brand. Lin brand, test 1, 5 pounds. Began the tear there. We suspect that what we've seen is that that's just going to continue and your survival blanket's done at that point. Next up is the UST Survival Blanket 2.0. I'm not feeling that confident about this one, so we're just going to start with the 5-pound test. Unfortunately, with just a 5-pound equivalent gust of wind or force, you're going to see a tear, and obviously this is going to be destroyed. Same test here, best Huntener, using a 5-pound weight with about 6 to 8 inches of lead. Set up the Best Hunter tarp to have a new grommet. Since the last one started to tear away a little bit at 10 pounds, we're going to try it now at 15 pounds, but wanted to give them a fresh grommet to try with. So that's the Best Huntener at 15 pounds of kinetic force. Finally, we're ready to test the Arcturus survival blanket. And again, we've been the top selling survival blanket pretty much in the United States for the last 7 or 8 years. We have the most reviews on Amazon, and we've gone through rigorous testing to try to fix any problems that we see when we're using this personally, from the grommets all the way up to the thickness of it and down below. Okay, Arcturus test 1 with our survival blanket, and this is a 10-pound weight, the same design we've been using with everybody else. Awesome, so first look at this. We don't have any tears up here on these seams, and also the grommet hasn't moved at all. If you remember the Best Huntener, we had a little bit of movement there, so we gave them a new grommet. Let's try this again with the... Alright, we're ready to check out a 15-pound test with the Arcturus survival blanket. And just like we did with the other blankets, we're giving the Arcturus survival a fresh grommet to use, so we haven't tested this one out, and let's see how it does. 15-pound test. Yes. That's amazing. So that's a 15-pound test for the Arcturus survival. I do notice, just to be clear, the grommet has shifted a tiny bit, but it has not torn, which is amazing. Now we want to be clear about this, that we're not guaranteeing or warranting that your survival blanket that you buy from Arcturus is going to survive some crazy wind gusts or anything like that. But at least in this individual situation, it was able to survive a 15-pound drop. Some of our advertising material right now is showing like a 20-pound weight hanging. That's static force hanging from it. So we've got 15 that we went kinetic that it survived. And so now we wanted to add another 20-pound plate carrier to this, which would give us a combined total of 35 pounds just to see what happens. We're going to expect this to rip at this point, but it would still be noteworthy to find out. Okay, we'll do a close-up on this. This is 35 pounds hanging from a single grommet on the Arcturus survival blanket. Again, not what this is designed for, but it should give an idea of the strength of our blanket. Okay, we still have 35 pounds hanging statically from a single grommet. We're just going to try to make this rip, so I'm going to add a little bit more weight and see what it takes to finally pull that grommet out. This is a 20-pound weight. We're going to add this to get us to a grand total of 55 pounds, if we can get it to balance. If we can see that, that's 55 pounds hanging on. I had to hold the back end because it was actually pulling through the clips that we had hanging everything on. But this is 55 pounds hanging on to the Arcturus grommet. And it's starting to tear right here, but it still hasn't, which is incredible.